Morning, everyone, and welcome to Webinar Tuesdays. Webinar Tuesdays hosted by we, the SBDC here in the Virgin Islands, in collaboration with the Small Business Administration. My name is Greg Kopach. I am a business counselor with the SBDC here in St. Croix, and I'll be facilitating today's session, which will be on specifically the SBA 8A loan. For today's session, by the way, it is live on Facebook. It is being recorded, and we will take a small break to introduce the SBDC commercial.
Has your business been affected by COVID-19? The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is available to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The VISBDC is sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration and collaborates with local agencies to support the small business community. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and provides free consulting, business education training, and technical assistance. Attend workshops with subject matter experts from both the public and private sector. From idea generation to exit strategies, the staff at the VISBDC is ready to assist you. Now is the time to contact them, so don't wait. Call or email them to find out how they can help your business grow and succeed.
¿Su negocio ha sido afectado por COVID-19? El Centro de Desarrollo de Pequeñas Empresas está disponible para ayudar a los empresarios en las Islas Vírgenes de los Estados Unidos. El VISBDC es sostenido por la Universidad de las Islas Vírgenes y la Administración de Pequeñas Empresas de los Estados Unidos para apoyar a la comunidad de negocios pequeños. El VISBDC está acreditado a nivel nacional y ofrece consultoría gratuita, educación empresarial y asistencia técnica. Asiste a talleres con expertos en la materia, tanto del sector público como del privado. Desde generaciones de ideas hasta estrategia de salida, el personal del VISBDC está listo para ayudarlo. Ahora es el momento de contactarlos si necesita ayuda. Llame o envíe un correo electrónico para averiguar cómo puede ayudar a que su negocio crezca y tenga éxito.
Greg, it's back to you.
Once again, thank you all. For today's session, we will have a question and answer session at the very end. Please put your questions in the chat, and we will certainly get to those at the end of the presentation. Okay. Today, we have a panel of 3 folks to talk to us today about the SBA 8A program. I'm going to introduce Wayne Huddleston, who's the Senior Area Manager here. Wayne's been a mainstay. Wayne briefs our staff every other week in our staff meetings. So he will be, I will introduce Wayne. Also, he will also subsequently introduce Lisa Shumley, who is an outreach marketing specialist with the SBA, and also Eduardo Velez Torres, who is a business opportunity specialist specifically with the 8A program. So without further ado, I present to you Wayne Huddleston.
Good morning. Thank you, Greg, and thank you for the SBDC for continuing to host these weekly webinars where we can come on and provide some information on SBA programs. As Greg mentioned, today's program is going to be about federal contracting and specifically the 8A program. We've invited our business opportunity specialist, Eduardo Velez Torres from Puerto Rico, to speak on this topic. He is charged with managing several aspects of federal contracting for SBA, but specifically provides guidance and support to 8A firms within the Caribbean. So he's going to provide an overview of what 8A, what it is, And as always, we're going to leave plenty of questions at the end to answer any questions you have regarding the 8A program, but also anything federal contracting, registering in SAM, whatever it may be, or anything related to SBA. So without further ado, I'd like to just turn it over to Eduardo to start our presentation today.
Thank you, Wayne. Good morning, everyone. Mary Jo, Greg, SBDC, as always, thank you for the invite to share information with you guys. It's always a pleasure. Let me share my screen real quick here. Okay, just to confirm, are we good? Can you see it well?
All good.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So my name is Eduardo Vélez. I'm one of two business opportunity specialists that work for the Puerto Rico and USBI SBA's district office. So, you know, after today's presentation, if you ever need any help, assistance, feel completely free to shoot me an email, give me a call. We're here to help. So today's presentation is going to be, you know, brief, short, sweet, to the point. It has a lot of information, a lot of good information, but it's not, you know, we're not going to extend it too long so that you guys don't, you know, lose track of what we're trying to, you know, give these short presentations so that you can start getting a feel of you know, whether this SBA's certification programs are good for you. Okay, so today we're specifically going to be talking about the 8A Business Development Program. This is one of SBA's certifications that you can apply to. So every time that you think of one of SBA's certifications, remember you first need to do a couple of steps before you can start considering doing business with the federal government. So you need to get your SAM.gov created. You need to identify your DUNS number, your cage code. You know, you need to do all that good stuff. Once you have that done, once you're ready to go on that side of the process, then you can, you know, sit down and start considering if you want to apply to one of SBA's programs. You know, check to see if you meet the requirements and the qualifications and just start working on the application. Okay, so the U.S. federal government has designed a program when they're buying goods and or services, and what they do is that they set aside some specific contracting opportunities for businesses that are certified as woman-owned, small disadvantaged business. This is where our 8A business development program falls into. Hub zone businesses and service disabled veteran owned small businesses. So that percentages that you see there on screen are the amount of contracts, the amount, the percentage of contracts that federal agencies need to give out to those small businesses. So the overall percentage is going to be 23% of contracts that have to be set aside for programs. For people that fall under one of these categories. Remember, you can apply, you can have multiple certifications running at the same time. So you can be a woman-owned small business, you can participate at the same time in the 8A program, and you can also be a hub zone, and you can be a service disabled. So you can have multiple certifications running at the same time, and you're gonna multiply your chances of obtaining a contract. Okay, remember that when we are talking about federal government buying, there are different aspects, there are different amounts that we need to look into. This is what we call thresholds. So you're gonna have micro purchase thresholds. These are individuals that are buying for an agency, and they're doing purchases of $3,500 $3,500 to $10,000. Okay, these are the new amounts that are going to be reflected in the Federal Acquisition Regulations book before. And we have the simplified acquisition threshold of $10,000 and above to 250,000. Okay, you obviously are gonna have your big purchases. You can get multi-million-dollar contracts. So just remember, you have different contracting and acquisition personnel in each agency, and they are each assigned to work on different purchasing and contracting and acquisition procedures. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about the 8A Business Development Program. So this program is designed to assist socially and economically disadvantaged owned small businesses. And the main goal is to aid them and assist them in competing in the federal marketplace. So once you get into one of these programs, one of SBA's programs, you have the opportunity to participate in sole source contracts. This means that you don't have to go through the competition part of the process. You don't have to do the whole prepare a package, submit a bid, wait the process, you wait it out. You don't need to do that. A contracting officer can go and do his own market research, identify potential vendors, and if you fall within one of those vendors that popped out at the moment he was searching, you have a good capability statement, a good capabilities narrative, you have experience, you may have a specific product that that agency is looking to buy. So if you fall into one of those categories, that contracting officer can request SBA permission to do business with you, and you can enter into a negotiation process with that individual, and that's it, and you can get a contract. So that's what a sole source contract means. So in the 8A program, it can go up to 4.5 million for goods and services, including construction, and up to 7.5 for manufacturing requirements. So you have a chance, you have a really good chance to get, to start making a name for yourself. You start doing a name for yourself, you start getting contracting officers to know you, you start building up those references from projects that you perform, from contracts that you perform, and you start your career. You can start your firm's career in the federal government. So this program only lasts 9 years. If you get certified Hub Zone or Woman Owned, you can recertify at certain points, and it can last a lifetime. But the 8A Business Development Program, because it gives out this opportunity to obtain the sole source contracts, and make money and grow and etc. It's only gonna last 9 years. So it's per individual. So if you have a company and you apply for the program and you get accepted, your name, you as an individual, you were the one that was selected. So you cannot create a company, ABC company, do the program, and after you graduated, go and create XYZ company and reapply. You cannot do that. It's only going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity. During the tenure of the program, you're going to have business development support, technical and management assistance, financial assistance by means of applying to SBA's lending programs. You have the opportunity to learn how to participate in subcontracting opportunities, prime contracting opportunities, and sole source contracts. The 80 program offers a broad scope of assistance to firms that are at least 51% owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. You need to be 51% owner of the firm when you apply to the program. You need to be on the day-to-day operation of the program. Okay, you cannot be 51% owner and apply and let the program run with someone else administering. You cannot do that. You need to be on the day-to-day operations of the program. This program has helped thousands of aspiring entrepreneurs, get a foothold in entering government contracting. The federal government literally buys, everything from paper clips, to nuclear submarines. So don't stop yourself from, reading and seeing if you can apply to this program because you sell, XY product. If you sell food or clothing or whatever, just look into the program, see if you qualify, see if this is a good fit for you, and then, looking to identify your NICS code, your industrial code, because the government buys absolutely, everything. So we need to identify if the 80 program is appropriate for you. Okay, so you need to be a business that for at least 2 years, you've been working on your primary NICS code. Remember, you can have your primary NICS and you can have multiple secondary NICS codes. Okay, this is going to be verified during the application process. You need to maintain a balance between buying, doing your commercial business and the government business, because you need to meet numbers for percentage. There needs to be a balance between the 8A contracts that you obtain and non-8A contracts. Okay, it cannot be full blast 8A contracts. During the first years of the program, this program is divided into development stage. During the first 5 years, and the last 4 years are the transitional stage. So during the first stage of the program, you can participate and obtain as many sole source contracts as you want. But during the last transitional years, you need to start doing a percentage of contracts that you obtain that are outside of 8A contracts. Okay. You need to be able to market your firm's business. So you need to create a business plan, a capability statement. You need to be a small business concern. This is going to be determined by, having a NICS code properly identified, so that you're sure that what you sell, the federal government buys. 51% unconditionally and directly owned by one or more socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. And for initial eligibility, the net worth of the individual that is claiming disadvantage must be less than 750. And you need to have a continuing eligibility net worth of less than 750. Your business equity, your 401k, retirement accounts, your house equity, all of those amounts, all of that money is going to be deducted by to obtain this number. Okay, so that you can feel confident that you're going to be able to, once you get into the program, you're going to have the opportunity to stay in it. So this program is going to help you learn and move yourself and start the process of marketing in the federal government. So you're going to identify, you're going to learn to identify what agency is selling what you buy, what you sell, You're gonna learn the contracting procedures that agencies use. Okay, you're gonna be able to identify the contracting officers that are making those decisions, whether it's a procurement officer, a contracting officer, you know, if they're doing micro purchases, if they're doing simple acquisition, you know, buying under 250, or if they are doing, you know, multi-million dollars purchases. So once you start determining what you sell and who is buying, you know, who is giving out those procurements, you can focus and aim, you know, at building up within, you know, those agencies. You're gonna have the opportunity also to make, you know, to know people, whether it's firms, whether it's through subcontracting opportunities, you know, and you get to know prime contractors, get to know people, the people that are buying the federal government. So it's definitely, you know, an excellent opportunity for the success of your company. So once you determine that you meet the basic qualifications, you know, you're a U.S. citizen, you're 51% control, you're in the day-to-day operations, et cetera, then we need to determine, you know, if this is the moment, you know, to apply. You need to be at least 2 years. Your company, your firm needs to be at least 2 years created in order to, you know, participate in this program. There is a waiver that is accepted, but it's going to be worked on a base-to-base scenario, on a base-to-base cases. So, you know, it's not going to be 100% sure that they apply it if you submit it, but it just so you know, there is the possibility that if you don't have the 2 years, you can, you know, request a waiver. So you need to ask yourself, do you have the capacity to deliver? You know, you need to have money on your bank account. You need to have inventory, because sometimes you're gonna need to deliver the product or the service, and then you're gonna get, you know, reimbursed for all of that, plus, you know, the amount agreed to. So you need to have cash flow. You need to have you need to demonstrate your capability to perform a work. You know, you need to have some past performance. This is where the 2 years come into play. And not only have you know, as if you were applying for a job, it's not only having the past performance, but it needs to be a successful past performance. Okay. So this is a program that it requires a lot of dedication. It's, you know, at the initial time of application, it takes a lot of time, a lot of organization, you know, a lot of documentation. But once you submit that, you know, we have really good success stories from businesses that sell absolutely everything from, you know, food to the food industry, construction, office materials, and you know, desks, computer, IT. I've seen it all. I've really seen it all during the you know, reviewing of once the firms get accepted into the program. So, you know, it's really if you can apply, it's an excellent opportunity. It's going to be an excellent opportunity for you. The 8A program offers a broad scope of assistance to firms, as we have talked about, that are at least 51% owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. As we have talked about, it has helped thousands of aspiring entrepreneurs, you know, get a foothold in government contracting. And the main goal that we try to do here is assist and graduate firms so that they will thrive and be successful in the competitive environment that is the federal contracting arena. You have the opportunity to participate and create mentor protege agreements, in which a knowledgeable and graduated firm can work with a new and developing firm, and aid them and guide them through the process. You can create joint ventures, meaning you can team up and partner with another small firm in order to participate, and win a contracting opportunity, maybe going against a large business. So the designated socially disadvantaged groups that we have been talking about, you can see them here on screen. And you can see the non-designated group criteria, just if you need to identify, if you are falling into one of those categories. Talking money, the math exercise that we were talking about earlier, that personal net worth number, you're gonna have your assets, and you're gonna subtract your liabilities, and into that math equation, you're gonna subtract also your 401k or requirement or retirement account, your business equity, and your primary residence equity. Your 3-year average income has to be $350 or less. And your the fair market value of all your assets has to be $6 million or less. Remember, this is an exercise that is going to be performed at the initial moment of application, and you also have to submit what we call annual reviews. So each year during your 9-year stay in the program, you have to submit financial statements, your personal tax returns, your business tax returns, and some other documentation. But just remember that this is an exercise that needs to be done yearly. Okay. Okay, so this is basically, a checklist, if you will, so that you can, do an initial exercise, So determine if you are a small business as per size standard determined by the NICS code table. Determine if you have the ownership requirement in place. So this is at least 51% unconditionally ownership by the disadvantaged individual. Remember, we've talked about control and management. You need to be on the day-to-day operations of the firm, during the whole 9 years of the program. Your business requirements, which are going to be your financial, capability to deliver, your management capability of your business. You need to have ability to perform federal contracts, and your 2 years in operation. Okay. When applying, you need to demonstrate good character. There's obviously such a big, what is a good character. So, information regarding your criminal conduct, incarceration, violations to any SBA regulations, among others, are going to be evaluated at the time of application and, on a yearly basis. And ineligibility criteria, we have some pointers. You can go over all of them in the SBA.gov section. Just to give you an example, a nonprofit business, okay? You need to be a for-profit organization in order to apply. So once we are ready to, start applying, remember what we talked about before applying to the 8A program, Hub Zone, Woman-Owned. We need to do a couple of steps. So you need to create your SAM.gov account. You need to have your NICS codes identified. You need to register for a DUNS number. Once you have that in place, you can go into certified.sba.gov, review that there's an initial kind of questionnaire that allows you to answer some questions to determine eligibility. So you can even, you just today, you can go into that page, certified.sba.gov, and do your initial test, okay, to see if you apply. You gather all the required documentation, review that absolutely everything is in place, and then you apply, okay? It is extremely important before you apply that you are 100% sure that everything is in order, okay? All your documentation, all your numbers, all the requirements. Why am I saying this? Because it's better to send out that application the first time, 100% good to go, to avoid delays. Because if if the analyst that is reviewing your application finds something, that puts a stop on the application, that analyst is supposed to get back to you to try to confirm, if it's something minor, if it's big, and there are too many errors, that analyst cannot go through the application, okay, and he has to deny it. But if it's fixable, that analyst will get in touch with you to try to fix the program, okay, to try to find a solution, okay. Okay, so this is the page that I was telling you about, certified.sba.gov, where it says, am I eligible? You can go there to determine if you're eligible to join, one of our programs, WOSB, Hub Zone, 8A, etc. Okay. Okay, so remember we talked about this, your set aside opportunities that are going to be either competitive or sole source opportunities. You have the capability to participate in a mentor protege program, your joint venture. You're going to have access to trainings, counseling, to participate in SBA's lending programs. This is what I was mentioning you guys. So the first 4 years are going to be the developmental stage, and the last 5 years are going to be the transitional stage of the program. So remember, in order to stay in the program, once you apply, you need to maintain your eligibility, okay? So you need to timely submit your 8A annual review with all the information that we mentioned. You need to maintain your SAM profile good to go. If there are going to be any changes in your business structure, ownership structure, name changes, etc., once you're participating in the program, you need to have SBA's prior written approval to perform any of those. This is, in order to keep firms who apply under certain, specifications, they need to keep that during the tenure of the program, okay? This is the contact information for myself and Mr. Mariano Torres from the SBA district office for Puerto Rico and the USVI. We also have here the contact information for Mr. Wayne Huddlestone. Lisa Chamley is also here, and the contact information for your SBDC office. So if you guys have any questions, if you need any assistance, please feel free to to shoot me an email, to call me, get in touch with us. SBA, our main and only mission is to help and assist small businesses, okay? I am assigned to the Puerto Rican USVI office, so, you got me. Feel free to use me, if you need assistance. Keep participating in the trainings that the SBDC offers. You can participate in trainings that we offer at our district office. Keep learning, keep getting that knowledge into your system. And once you feel ready to apply into the program, go ahead and do so. We have a lot of really good success stories, both in Puerto Rico and the USVI. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, let us know.
All right, thank you very much, Eduardo. And
I'm gonna stop sharing.
the chat right now, but everyone, please feel free if you have any questions regarding the 8A program. Now is a great opportunity to get your questions answered by Eduardo. He is knowledgeable about everything regarding 8A. Of course, anything regarding federal contracting too, just ask away. You can either unmute yourself or you can type a question in chat and we'll get to it. I think with Zoom, you may be able to raise your hand. I'm not sure, but just let us know.
Yes, they can also raise their hands.
Okay.
Just as a point of information, there is a webinar tomorrow afternoon. That's the Business Development Series, and that is going to be presented by Mr. Greg Kopach. It's Starting Your Business in the Virgin Islands. That's at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday, the VI SBDC in collaboration with the UVI School of Business will be presenting the webinar, Business Processes, Improving Your Cash Flow.
Mary Jo.
Yes, sir.
So I have one question from, I cannot see, it's Beresford. So he's asking, what are the NAICS codes? So NAICS stands for North American Industry Classification System. That's basically a table comprised of numbers that represent your industrial code. That this is what you do. So let's say that you do general construction. Your NAICS code is going to be 236220. Now, the purpose of this table, the purpose of this system is to let someone know if they qualify to be a small business, okay, as per SBA standards. So you're going to have one or two, you need to comply with one or two things. It's either going to be dollar value or number of employees. So for general construction 236220, you're going to have a maximum amount of money that you can make when you add up when you get your final number of the sum of the annual receipts for the last 3 years. If that number does not go above $39.5 million, you are a small business as per the NAICS 236220. Let's say you do IT services. I don't remember that number, but let's say it's 541321, and maybe that NAICS number works with the maximum amount of employees that you're that you can have. So it can be 200, 300. Let's say it's 200. So if you work under that specific NAICS, and you have 150 employees, you qualify, and you are a small business as per the NAICS definition. So hopefully I answered that question. Excellent. You can go here. There are so many things that it's an excellent exercise when you go here and enter your industry. If you can, I don't know who's doing this. Mary Jo?
It's me, Eduardo.
Oh, okay. Is it possible that you type in 236220?
Sure.
Or general construction, I don't know.
Yeah, you can also, most people don't know the code, but you can also just type in the word right there as well.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. Commercial and institutional building construction.
But for instance, if someone is a Trying to think of other landscaping. You can just type in landscaping
Mhm.
and you'll get the code right there. And then you
There
can
you go.
click on it and you'll get more information as to what that is. And then after reading it, if that fits, then use the appropriate code. And if it,
Yes.
then
And
keep
I think Lisa added to the chat the link for the PDF document. But absolutely, this is an excellent resource where you can.
Search aspect, the website.
Awesome.
One thing I will add, Eduardo, and let me know if you agree, but a lot of businesses will oftentimes identify their NAICS code and then put that, and that's it. But many businesses operate in different fields, especially when you're talking about construction or other areas. So if you type in construction, you will get you can get a list of NAICS codes, but some construction firms do cement work, some do plumbing, some do electrical work. So you want to make sure that when you build your profile as a business, you capture all those NAICS codes under your profile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% agree. What Wayne just mentioned is basically you having your primary code, let's say that one, 236220, and then you can have as many as you want. Plumbing, you name it, you name it.
So Eduardo, there's a question around the length of time for certification.
Yes. So the approximate time frame right now from the moment of when you literally press send and everything goes out into through the certified web page until the approval, it's anywhere from 60 to 90 days. It can be less, it can be more. That's a give or take from 60 to 90 days. And that applies to Hub Zone, 8A, woman-owned, service disabled, veteran.
And Eduardo, you may be able to answer this for the audience, as we have had some efforts over the past few years to streamline and make the application process a little bit easier. And since you interact with this a lot more often than what I do, could you share your understanding of how complex or how easy it is if someone today says, that sounds great, I want to start my 8A application process, and they're just starting today? Can you give them some pointers on that process in the beginning?
Yes. So I divide the process in two stages. First, determine if you qualify. Go into the requirements and qualification section and do a checklist so that you can check, absolutely all of them. 51% own, you have your numbers in order. If absolutely everything is in order and you have that part of the process good to go, sit down. You can do it by yourself. You have the, SBDC
It sounds like
Yeah, I think we lost, you're not on mute, Eduardo, I don't think, but we lost your audio. But I think what he was trying to say, everyone, is that if you need help pulling that information together, just make an appointment with the SBDC. They are well aware of the requirements. They can help you with your certify at sba.gov application. I know several of the staff have done this before. They're available to help.
I also put in the sba.gov link to the 8A program so that, and I know that the presentation will be available, but just if you want to go and read up and research your eligibility and the different elements of it, that's an easy link to, very comprehensive.
Right.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
So I'm sorry about that. Internet went out. So once you have your checklist and you know that you are 100% eligible, that you can apply, that second stage is, preparing your package and knowing that you have all your documentation in place. Because when you go into certify, you're going to sit down and you're going to start answering questions. It's a plug and play, process in which you're going to get asked a yes or no question, or a, you're going to be asked to input information, numbers, names, amounts, etc. And there are going to be questions in which they're going to ask you to attach your documentation. So be sure to have all your requirements checked and you're good to go, and then be 100% sure that you have all your documentation or that package ready to go. Wayne, I hope that answered your question. That's the best advice I can give on
Yes,
that.
good. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to give, I know you hit on a lot of those in your presentation, but just want to hit on those again. If you don't mind, I'll share my screen one more time and just give one more piece that might be able to assist people here.
And I wanted to, once you finish, Lisa, I can send you the PDF that I have for the next table. I can send you so that you can share that.
So I just want to quickly share. I don't know if you can see my screen. Do you see the dynamic small business search? Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Everybody, this is a public database. Anyone can access this. This is a database managed by SBA where we pull out the small business firms that are in the SAM system. We pull out those specifically. Contracting officers rely on this database frequently to identify firms that they can do contracts with. Oftentimes, if they wish to limit a contract by a women-owned small business or 8A or Hub Zone, they will go here first. So I want to show you an example here of how you can look up firms. You can look anywhere in the United States, but if you just look at the Virgin Islands and you pick just 8A, you're only going to see just a few firms. And you click searching those criteria. Sometimes it takes a second, but you can see here in the Virgin Islands, there are only 4 firms with aptitude certification. And I can tell you that really the only one who's winning contracts out of these that I'm aware of is SF General Maintenance. Part of it is because they are very good at seeking contracts. 8A, Hub Zone, these other certifications don't guarantee that you are just going to be handed contracts. They give you a leg up in the process, but you still have to work hard to put yourself in front of contracting officers. Here, SF General Maintenance has filled out their capabilities narrative. So when a contracting officer is in here, they see that this business is serious about winning contracts.
Yes, yes. I'm constantly going after our 8A firms that don't have that paragraph, that narrative filled out.
Right.
I'm constantly going after them. Hey, you need to fill that information out. That's your tool. That's what a contracting officer is going to see.
And people can use this database to fill it out and look at other contracting firms, not just in the Virgin Islands, but across the country. And you can find what are some good capability narratives that reflect my business. So here in the Virgin Islands right now, we have 683 businesses that are in SAM as a small business. A lot of these are just, they're in there, but they have nothing. Some have small things, but some have more consistent write-ups. There's SF General Maintenance again. Caribbean Auto Mart is in there. They've filled it out completely. But this database really helps you look at what your competition may be out there, what other successful firms are putting in here. But everyone who's interested in federal contracting should be aware of this database to do some research, look at other firms, and look at where you are as well.
Yes. Let me see if I can. Nope. Stop. Let me see if I can copy. I don't know if I can paste it here.
You can probably paste it in the chat.
Yes, I don't know why it's not
allowing you.
SPC documents.
You can email it to me and I'll pull it and put it in.
Let me do that. I'm having trouble. It's not showing up in the. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
In the meantime, are there any other questions? Does anyone want to come on and ask a question? Greg, Wayne just answered. Well, not WOSB in the territory, but how many? We had federal contracting firms in SAMA was 683. Wayne, do you know how many women-owned small businesses are logged in the territory?
Let's see. I can share my screen right now. It's not coming up, but maybe I'm not hitting something right. Hold on a second.
And regarding that specific question, there is a situation right now taking place because before just a couple months ago, the woman-owned small business certification process moved from being a self-certification process to a, I want to say, quote unquote, formal application process. So if you went into the DSPS, a couple months ago, before the process changed, I had 300 plus women-owned small businesses that appeared for Puerto Rico and the USVI when I did this search. Now, when I go in, the number is somewhere around 33 or 38. Our guess is that, SBA sent out an email to the, last known email that the firms provided in their profile. And I myself just, I think 3 months ago, sent out a massive email through to, absolutely all of the firms that we have. It was like 300 something. That's it, that 37 number. So I sent out an email basically saying, hey, please remember the self-certification that you had is no longer active. It's no longer working. You need to go into the certified.sba.gov page and do a formal application into the women-owned small business program. This had to be done because at some point SBA was battling identity theft and some other unfortunate events were happening regarding federal contracting procedures. So they had to formalize the process to avoid that happening. So
Eduardo, are you aware of any slow up in that process being communicated with the dynamic small business search? We did a similar reach out to all the women-owned small businesses here who had self-certified. And then when with process change, we alerted them that they need to do the certification through certify.gov. And I believe I'm aware at least one or several businesses that completed that certification process to get their women-owned certified designation. But apparently here in the Virgin Islands, they're not showing any of them. When I click the Virgin Islands, it doesn't show. So
I would send out an email again to those firms, basically asking if they submitted the application, because I can tell you, literally from experience, I've received maybe, I'm talking about, I sent out an email for, I think it was like 350 or more of the women-owned firms that I had. And I received maybe, I want to say 15, kind of replies back, like saying, hey, I started the process, I filled out the information, just applied, like how long do you think it's going to take to reflect the changes in DSPS, etc. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, once you send out the notice, hey, you need to do this, it's basically up to the firm to determine if they want to reapply. And in my specific case, that was that was what I got back. So I think in your, I think I would reach out again to see what comes back. I don't know.
all right, well, we'll have to check. I'm not sure if the changes are reflected in the dynamic small business search quickly enough, because we'll reach out to a few.
Okay. It's supposed to take it's supposed to take some time, but not like months.
No.
It's supposed to take, and something important, if you create your sam.gov profile and you apply to a SBA certification, 8A Hub Zone, Woman Owned, it's very important that when you finish your application in the sam.gov profile, at the end, you're supposed to see or receive a link to fill out your supplemental SBA information, because what Wayne was just showing you, that DSPS page, this pulls out information from SAM. So you cannot go into the DSPS page and type information, put your whatever you want to put in. It doesn't work like that. You're going to fill out that information in your sam.gov page, and then it's going to reflect that information from there into the DSPS. So you need to have that DSPS part created so that when you do get approved for Hub Zone, 8A, Woman Owned, the SBA analyst can go into the DSPS and literally put, yes, is the firm 8A approved? Yes. Start date 06/15/2021, exit date, etc.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Eduardo.
so
Perhaps
yes.
it may be helpful in a future session. Maybe we'll have another session where we'll walk through a little bit more in detail on SAM registration, the certified process, the DSBS, and so to make sure people understand that process as well.
Yes, we can definitely ask Jezabel to see if she wants to join us. She does a really good presentation on sam.gov and sam.beta.gov to how to search for opportunities. So
Perfect.
we can definitely get in touch with her. Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Eduardo, just that everyone knows, I'm trying to upload the SBA table of size standards that Eduardo sent, but it's 602 KB and I think it's too big for the platform. If you
Okay.
are interested, you registered, we can send it to via SBDC, and if you request it from them, they can send it out to you via email.
Yes.
And it's on our
Definitely.
site. The link, there's a link on our site. They can.
Awesome.
Well, we'll wrap up here today. We're nearing the end of our hour. Thank you for the time, Eduardo. Thank you for a lot of great information, and for SBDC for hosting. Next week, we'll be back again at Tuesday at 10 o'clock. The topic will be SBIR STTR, Small Business Innovative Research and Technology Transfer Programs. These are programs that businesses can apply for if they're in a technology field to help agencies, federal agencies, obtain their goals in some sort of endeavor. But they are offering grants for this process. And Elisa is well-versed on SBIR, STTR, and she will provide an outstanding presentation for us next week on that topic.
Just want to wait, it's not, yeah. It's Tuesday, June 29th. There is no session next Tuesday.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for correcting.
Okay, so with SBA, we will see you guys on Tuesday, June 29th. And Lisa Shamli-Akui will be our presenter. Greg, do you have anything you'd like to say before we leave?
Yes, ma'am. You had mentioned it, Mary Jo, about the webinar tomorrow. First of all, thanks to all of you for coming today. And there's no, don't need to remind any of us, there are truly opportunities out there. I want to try to make a little connection here with the SBA certifications. Yes, the procedure was changed. We have them in progress now. And I can tell the business owners out there that it truly is a matter of good record keeping. Because you see, the new procedure is doesn't let you save things. You have to be prepared, upload these things once and press the button. So It is about having those records organized and handy, which also ties into tomorrow afternoon's webinar. We're going to do a starting your business in the VI webinar. If you haven't launched yet, or if you know anyone, that webinar is going to be very, very focused on 10 questions only. And these are questions that we have learned during COVID. They must be addressed before we start businesses in the VI. It should be exciting. It starts around 2 p.m. So if you know anyone who is considering starting a business, please let them know so they can join us tomorrow afternoon. Once again, thank you, Mary Jo. Thanks to all the attendees. We appreciate your support at the SBDC.
Okay.
That's all I
a good-
have. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, SBDC. Have a good day, everyone.